Always Irish Show. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to a Where Should Notre Dame Be Ranked in the Preseason polls that come out, I believe, right around the first week of August, edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni Boy out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish or Always Irish Shake. Emails, alwaysIrishND@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. Don't want to see my face? No one blames you. Go to the audio only. Call-in lines, 312-988-15. Dial it up. Tell Uncle Yanni Boy all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by Yes, I Read All About It. And don't forget about patreon.com/Always Irish. Man, we got it going over there. Jack Sullivan breaking down all the recruiting. Mike Goolsby looking at all the film. Oh, we have a good time. Man, we have a good time. All right. First things first regarding this topic, and I got to be honest, doesn't really matter all that much. This whole topic, it doesn't really, in the big scheme of things, it doesn't really matter that much. It's all about, like, how you're perceived, like, going into a year, and it's just kind of it's very in the eye of the beholder type of thing. If we're being real, I feel like I say this every year. If we're being real, you shouldn't honestly probably even have these rankings coming out till about week 5 or 6, and everybody has a body of work this year. Not basing it all off what you did last year, and then you have a whole different team. There should be no rankings till everybody's played 5 or 6 games, and then you stack them up this year. But for gambling and TV and everything else, promo, get your clicks, you got to put out the preseason rankings and have everybody debating them and talking about them. But I don't think there should be any till everybody's got a body of work in this season. That makes sense to me. But the powers that be, they need fodder to talk about. You need your clicks. You want to put ranked on that commercial late in the summer to get people bought in, right? I get it. But I want to get that right out of the way. This is largely a theoretical exercise. Practically, I don't think it matters that much unless you're Notre Dame and you know you have a really good team. You finished second last year and they rank you like 24th. Then you got an issue. That is an extreme divergence, I think, from reality. Then you maybe have an issue. But anything in the world of being reasonable, this is largely for clicks. Shouldn't have rankings till about 5 or 6 games in for everybody. So where should Notre Dame be ranked? I don't know. Anywhere in the top 10? Anywhere in the top 10? I don't think I'm going to freak out. Anywhere in the top 10. And I'm kind of fine with it. Follow me here. If Notre Dame's ranked, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, based on the overall talent and the momentum and finish of last year, fine. Great. Love that. You love that. I'm also fine if you end up ranked 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and when people do a little write-up about it, they say, hey, Notre Dame's looking good. Freeman's found his footing. Obviously, they had a very successful 2024 season. However, Notre Dame's breaking in a new quarterback and a new defensive coordinator against Miami and Texas A&M. Prove it. Prove it. If there's people that are doing this voting that are inclined to crap on Notre Dame, and there are a bunch of them, you ever see when they release everybody's AP poll and who picks what? There's certain people at certain outlets that are just going to undervalue Notre Dame no matter what. But in this instant, if you ranked them in the bottom part of that top 10, it being like, I don't know, man, new quarterback, new DC, Miami and A&M the first 2 weeks, Notre Dame will put them at the bottom of the top 10. They win those games, they're going to shoot right up and prove themselves. Okay. Like, I could see both of those angles being in the world of reality. If I had to guess, I'm guessing 4, 5, 6 range. That would be my guess. I think that's where they're going to land. Well, and I'm not talking Joe Blow's blog on Twitter, and this is what he thinks. I'm talking about the AP and the coaches poll that come out first week of August. That's what I'd guess. 4, 5, 6, somewhere right in there. But I understand both philosophies. Notre Dame's hot. They finished strong last year, put them up in the top 5. Or some moving parts, tough early schedule, prove it. Last year worked out really weird. Think about the dynamic last year. You win A&M and you're the toast of the country. Everybody's talking about you getting over the hump and everything's different. And Marcus Freeman wins big games and Kelly didn't. The whole thing, right? Look at him in the tunnel, the whole thing, okay? Then you go out and you lose to Northern Illinois. What happens then? Out of sight, out of mind. Every outlet does a YouTube video or an article saying Notre Dame's playoff chances are done. Cross them off the list. That's what was happening around the country. Notre Dame's playoff chances are done. Cross them off. Then what happened? We just kept winning. Everybody else started collecting some losses. And before you know it, you move right back up into prime position. Flew right under the radar, man. Such a weird dynamic there. From flying high week 1 to being the lowest of the low, totally written off, nobody talking about you at all. And you just keep winning and move right back up into position. Really interesting how that worked. No attention at all. And you just kept winning. And every week, Notre Dame would move up. These other teams would lose a game or two. You just keep moving up, keep winning. Very, very interesting. Here's the reality for this year. The reality of this is, here's how it's going to go. Regardless of rank to start the year, the majority of the country is going to make up its mind about Notre Dame in the results of the first 2 games. That's what's going to happen because it's not Miami, Ohio, Central Michigan. It's Miami and Texas A&M. The majority of the country is going to have their opinion made on Notre Dame in those first 2 games. The difference, this is simplistic in a way, but interesting to think about in a different way. Obviously, the difference between ending that stretch 2-0, 1-1, and 0-2 is such a huge difference. Like 2-0 means if you get through that stretch 2-0, it means the Ash defense is just fine. Maybe even better in some ways. It means the new quarterback is easing in awesomely, not perfectly, but awesomely. And it means that O-line and running game is cooking. That's what I think it means if you're 2-0. That defense, you don't have to worry about it with the change. Quarterback eases in and doesn't have a catastrophe happen that loses you a game. And that O-line and run game are cooking. 0-2. You know how 0-2 would go. This is the nightmare scenario. That new Ash defense, man, it takes them there's a miscommunication, a blown coverage, whatever it is. And you give up some big splash plays over the top that you won't give up later in the year, but you're getting figured in that new defense. Couple dumb things happen. Quarterback throws a couple pick sixes right into coverage, learning the game. 0-2 means I could see it now, all the articles. Last year was just lucky for Notre Dame. Freeman doesn't know what he's doing. It was a one and done. You know, they caught lightning in a bottle, and Carr's a bad quarter. If he's the starter, Carr ain't going to work out. Got to pull him. You know, last year was a mirage. It's going to be dark. It's going to be real dark. And you got to avoid, it can't be. But the nightmare scenario is Notre Dame ends up with a really, really good team, but it just takes too long to get there with the new moving parts to where you're buying the 8-ball for playoff stuff. That's the nightmare scenario. I am certain this team's going to end up being really, really good. When, though? When? When? Because you need it early. You don't have the luxury of waiting. You need it early. 1-1 puts you where you were last year. Now, the loss wouldn't be to Northern Illinois. It would either be Miami or A&M. So there's like, it's not a Northern Illinois catastrophe, but the result is the same. You're through 2 games and you have 1 loss. And you saw the pressure that put on this team last year. So 2-0, the narrative's very obvious. 0-2, that narrative's very obvious too. 1-1, man, you're just in a tough spot again, to where you feel like you can't lose again, and you got that loss in week 2. It's just, that's a lot to overcome when you're in Notre Dame and you don't have a conference to move back up in and all that stuff. And you're going to have split narratives at 1-1 of what's good enough and what isn't, and this and that. Like, that'll be split. 2-0, no split. 0-2, no split. 1-1, man, that puts you. What are the odds Notre Dame can make that same run with 1 loss they made last year with a new quarterback? You can't bank on it. Do you know how rare that run was? Start out 2-0. Start out 2-0. So I don't know where Notre Dame's going to be ranked. It doesn't matter to me that much in the long run, because you're going to get all the answers you need in the first 2 weeks. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.